Chapter 1. A world built on precision. Leon Kessler's mornings were rituals, not routines. At exactly 5 a.m., his alarm sounded. Not a blaring siren, but a soft violin arrangement he'd commissioned from an obscure Berlin composer. A melody timed to ease him into wakefulness without triggering stress hormones. The room, a sleek, soundproofed suite of minimalist architecture, came alive with subtle automation. Blinds slid open to reveal the skyline of Velocity, his smart glass windows tinting to a gentle amber glow that mimicked sunrise. The faint scent of cedar filled the air. Leon sat upright in one motion, spine straight, gaze forward. His brown hair tousled from sleep, his red eyes bloodshot but focused. He didn't blink much in the mornings. He didn't have time for the luxury of grogginess. Today would be another test of control. In his penthouse kitchen, Leon blended a protein shake laced with matcha, collagen, creatine, and a nootropic cocktail developed by a neurologist he met in Zurich. He drank it in silence, leaning against the marble counter in a form-fitting graphite shirt that showed off his compact, muscular build. Not bulky, but sculpted with efficiency. His mind was already racing through the day's agenda. Client debrief at 9. Grant evaluation at 11. Lunch with Marcus at 1. Session with Talia at 6. Poetry submission deadline at midnight. He frowned slightly at the last item, the only one that felt out of sync with the rest. He hadn't written anything in weeks. The world only knew him as a financial advisor to elite clients and corporate empires. But online, under the pseudonym Lazarus Thorne, he was a cult favorite poet whose verses explored emotional repression, memory, and longing. He didn't need to write to survive, but without writing, he didn't feel entirely human.
Chapter 2. Fire and Ice. The office of Kessler and Vale was perched like a blade on the city skyline. Frosted glass walls, monochrome palettes, a space engineered to intimidate. Leon's stride was silent, his steps calculated. Interns avoided eye contact. Partners respected his results, but they didn't know him. No one truly did. Not since Marcus. Speak of the devil. "You're early," Leon muttered as he entered the boardroom, where Marcus Vale was already leaning back in a leather chair, smirking. "Couldn't sleep," Marcus said. "Too excited. Old rivals. New battlefield." Leon took a seat across from him. "If you're still trying to prove you're better than me, this isn't the way." Marcus's smile faded slightly. His sharp jaw and well-groomed stubble gave him the air of a film star turned CEO. "You never did get the poetry of revenge, Leon. This isn't poetry. It's a grant for community art funding. You want revenge? You're in the wrong arena." "I want what I've always wanted," Marcus said. "To beat you, clean, no sabotage. Just a test of ideologies. You play control, I play chaos." Leon stiffened. "You play ego." "Same thing." The grant in question was no ordinary corporate affair. It was a 7-figure investment to support a local arts project that would define the cultural brand of Velocity for a decade. Leon was on the review panel. Marcus was backing an anonymous submission from a painter with a growing underground buzz. Leon's job wasn't to care, but something about Marcus's smugness made him itch. "I suppose you already know who submitted the piece?" Leon asked. Marcus only winked. "You'll figure it out soon enough."
Chapter 3. The Spiral Asterisk. Leon Kessler sat in his office, staring at the Manhattan skyline. His reflection in the glass mirrored the unrest that had taken root inside him. The city pulsed beyond the glass, a world he'd once felt master of. Now, it watched him with indifferent light. The morning had begun like any other, but everything tasted wrong. The silence of his penthouse wasn't peace. It was erosion. He barely acknowledged Simon's greeting as he walked in, nor did he care that his assistant handed him 2 pressing files. His mind wandered elsewhere, to red strokes on canvas and the weight of his own words being used against him. An email blinked at the top of the screen. Easton Holdings, urgent review required. He clicked. The document was heavy with implications. A data leak, internal laundering trails, unethical financial conduct, all tied to Marcus's branch. If this reached the press, Marcus would bleed. Leon leaned back in his chair, his fingers steepled beneath his chin. This was more than leverage. This was checkmate. Yet even as that thrill surged in his veins, it was diluted. Something about it felt off. Simon entered hesitantly, holding a printed version of the same document. "I found this saved in internal cache," Simon said. "Looks real." Leon didn't speak. He glanced over the document again, then closed it with deliberate finality. "Don't pursue it," he said. Simon frowned. "But if we leak this, he's finished." I said drop it. The weight of his tone silenced Simon. He stood for a moment longer, confused, and left the room with something cold settling in his chest. Leon stayed motionless. He should have felt victorious. Instead, he felt like a man watching himself from a distance. By evening, he was in Talia's therapy office again. The soft lamplight, the tick of the clock, her eyes, they all made him feel strangely naked. He didn't sit right away. He moved to the window, watching streaks of rain blur the lights outside. "I had the opportunity to destroy him," he said. "All the proof I needed." "And you didn't take it," Talia replied gently. "I could have. I still might." She watched him for a moment. "What does it cost you, Leon, to let someone else fall?" "It cost me control." Talia said nothing. He turned, expecting judgment, but found stillness. "Control is a cold god," she said finally. "It demands everything and gives back nothing." Leon left early. No answers. Just the sound of that phrase following him back into the night. Back in her studio, Alara worked feverishly. She painted not for clients now, but for herself. The canvas before her showed fractured glass, each shard reflecting a different part of man's face. The dominant detail, red eyes flickering between sorrow and anger. She named it Vermilion Silence. When she posted it online, the response was instant. Some viewers praised its raw intensity. Others speculated on the symbolism. Was the man a villain? A victim? Alara answered none of them. She only commented, Asterisk, it's about someone who sees too much of himself, but never enough of others. Asterisk, Leon saw it. It appeared in a gallery email newsletter he never subscribed to. He clicked by accident, but once he opened the image, he couldn't close it. It felt like standing naked before the world. He opened a message to Marcus. I could destroy you. He deleted it, typed again, deleted again. Instead, he messaged Simon, trashed the documents. I don't want them seen. He waited for the familiar wave of control to return. It didn't. An hour later, Simon showed up at his door, uninvited. He looked older, drained. I deleted them, he said, but someone else didn't. It's already out there. Half the data's been sent to a journalist. Leon's jaw tightened. Who? I don't know, Simon said. But maybe it doesn't matter anymore. You taught me that whoever holds the truth first holds the power. And now we both know what it does. Leon said nothing. He simply closed the door behind Simon and returned to the living room. The city burned gold and black beyond the glass. He poured himself a drink and returned to the blank page of his poetry folder. I built a fortress of promises, then traded them like weapons. How many walls? Built to protect. Also become prisons? He deleted it. He typed again. She painted me broken. I worship how sharp the shards looked, until one cut deeper than shame. This one he saved. Sleep came late. When it did, it came without dreams. Just the sound of the city murmuring to itself. The next morning, he didn't wake to his usual alarm. He let the sun drag him out of bed. As he stared at the ceiling, he knew the illusion was slipping. The systems he built, the control he worshipped, they were losing their grip. Something else had taken root inside him, and it had Alara's voice, Simon's doubt, Talia's silence. He reached for his phone, but didn't touch it. He closed his eyes, then opened them again. The day had already begun without him.